Okay. So Nafisa, I want you to tell me what you, as the meeting started. Yeah, what have you tried with your particular question when you looked at it? What was your approach?
So I worked out the area of the rectangle, right? And then I was like, I
Okay,
have
but
to,
okay,
sorry, minus
I
the,
just want you to read the question first. It's like, imagine like I'm somebody who, like you're teaching this question to me. So I just want you to, how did you read this question when you looked at it for the first time?
so there is a rectangle shape mat, and then there's two semicircles on the mat,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the
I'll shade
length,
it for you. Yeah.
and then they give you the length, which is 150 millimeters, and then they tell you that the width will change the whole time. So
Okay. And then what is the question asking you?
to show the area of the shaded area, I mean, yeah,
Show that the
the
shaded
shaded part.
area. Okay.
Yeah.
So how can you develop an equation for the shaded area? What do you think?
You work out the whole thing, then you minus the pink from the whole
Yeah.
part.
So what's the area of the whole thing of the rectangle,
Length times breadth.
which would be in terms of those numbers that they have there?
150x.
Great. And what's the area of the two semicircles?
No, that's where I got stuck.
Okay. What's the area of a circle?
Pi r squared.
Okay. Pi r squared. To make your life easier, do you agree that what's two semicircles together gives you a?
A whole circle.
So you just have to find the one circle, to divide. Okay. Um, so what's the area of this circle in terms of x?
Pi
Wouldn't be
x squared.
no? Wouldn't it
No.
be pi x over 2 squared because your x is your diameter, not your radius?
Oh. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because so good observation. This is the diameter. Do you see? So if the diameter is x, then the radius is half x. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be pi times x over 2 squared. And you must subtract this from 150x. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So simplify this for me.
Pi over 4x squared.
Pi over, yeah, sure. You can say it like that. Pi over 4 x squared. And that's what they give, right?
Yep.
So do you see what do you think about this question that sort of stopped you from, did you put in x to be the radius?
Yes. I thought that whole
Okay.
thing. I didn't
Yeah.
consider the diameter.
Yes. Okay.
Mm.
Is everybody clear on how we got this?
Yep.
That's one person. Nabila.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now Nafisa, now that you have the equation of the area, how would you work out number 10.2.2? So explain it. So imagine somebody's watching this video now, doesn't know optimization. How would you explain 10.2.2?
You work out the derivative and make it equal to 0
And I'm going to push you further. Why are you making the derivative equal to 0?
because they ask for the maximum value.
Okay. Is the turning point always a maximum?
No.
No, it can be the minimum also.
How do you know that this is going to be a maximum? Just from the equation. What type of graph is this?
A parabola.
Parabola.
What type of parabola?
That
A
Frowning
frowning
parabola.
parabola.
How do you know it's a frowning parabola?
There's a minus
Because
in
it's a
front of the pi over 4.
Every frowning parabola has a maximum or minimum? Has a maximum. So therefore, just from looking at the equation, you can already say that it's going to be maximum. Do you see that? You guys are not very loud. I don't know if it's on my side. Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
okay. Just speak a bit louder. So do you see how there's only one place where the derivative equals naught? Do you see that? Because there's only one turning point. There's only one stationary point, and that's over here. Nafisa?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so when you find the derivative and make it equal to naught, you are implicitly finding the maximum. So you don't have to, you're only going to get one answer. Do you see that? Because it's only one part of this graph where the derivative is naught. And the derivative is naught at the turning point. And there's only one turning point, which means there's only one answer, one value of x when the derivative is naught. So how would you solve this? What's the next step? You make the derivative naught. What's the derivative of this, Nafisa?
2 pi over 8 x.
Because
plus
you're doing the
150.
right. Because you want to be
Minus 2, sorry.
minus 2 pi over 4, which can be simplified to
Minus
Pi
half.
over 8.
no, minus pi over 2, because you've got minus 2 pi over 4,
yes.
right? Minus 2 pi over 4 x plus 150, which can become minus pi over 2, right? Equals naught. And now solve this for me. What you gonna do next?
Take the 150 over to the other side.
Sure, or we could take the pi over 2 over, then it's positive. What do you think? Well, we can take it over, doesn't matter. You see, it's minus pi over 2. So I would take the minus pi over 2 over. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But you can take over the 150, but I always like to work with positives, not with negatives. You see? It's just easier. But do you want to take over the pi over 2?
Yes. To make it
So
positive.
pi over 2x equals 150. Therefore, x equals, who's going to work it out?
95,49.
Have we answered the question?
Yes. Meter squared. Millimeter squared.
Mustn't we sub it back into the original formula?
Yes. So what have we answered here? Nafisa, what answer have we got here? What is this answer that I've given you here? X equals 95,49.
The whole shape, isn't it?
What did we say, Naima? What is this answer?
I think it's the number where it will be the maximum.
The
The
value of
value.
x
Yeah.
that will give you a maximum. You guys agree? because this is
Yes.
x. X is just a number, right? It's not an area. So you can, they said the width can vary, the x can vary. So you want to determine what value must x be so that my shape is a maximum. It's like your parabola, right? What we're saying is that that x value at the turning point is 95. Does that mean the maximum is 95?
No.
It just means the x value is 95. But if you want to find the corresponding value, what would you do? You would take this and
Substitute it in the original.
into this equation. Do you agree? Because this is the area equation.
Yeah.
Is everybody clear on that? I'm not hearing many voices. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is the answer that you get? Are you subbing in 95,49 into the area equation? Anyone doing it?
7161,97.
7,161,97, and it's millimeters squared. So you mustn't forget the millimeters. Okay. So this is a very small table. It's only 15 centimeters, so it's not really that big. Yeah. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys don't seem so. You guys are more talkative in the breakout rooms, no? You know, you're not that talkative here. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you.
Okay. Amaro, your question. How are you doing, Amaro?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah.
The sound is very soft. I don't know if it's on my side. If you can speak just a little bit louder.
Can you hear me now?
I can, but it's just very soft for some reason.
I'm not sure why.
Can you speak? Can you speak? Can you speak a bit louder? Amaro, can you speak a bit louder?
Yes. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's much better. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so how did you break down this question? I know it's got a star next to it, which means that it's difficult. Okay. How did you read this question? Set the scene for me, set the scene.
So the universe, 2 points, which is 5 and 7, and -1 and -1. So we have 2 points.
On the circle.
Yes.
So we can draw a circle. Okay, that doesn't look very nice. Okay, yeah, you can draw a circle, yeah. And what do you know about the circle? What do you know about the circle, Amara? What do they tell you about the circle?
The center.
Yeah. Can you guys hear Amaro? I can't hear very well. Can you guys hear?
No,
she,
not
she
so
Easy
well.
is
bit
very soft. Yeah.
I can't hear well.
Okay. Amaro, can you try to speak a little bit louder?
Yes, I think it's because I'm on my laptop today. That's right.
Okay.
We can get the x-intercept and we can work out the gradient.
The gradient. What do you mean the gradient?
We have 2 points. Oh, it's not on
Yeah.
the same line.
So yeah, I mean, you can work out the gradient between these 2 points, but how would that help you in this case?
That's fine. I was thinking something else.
It's a good thought. Okay, anybody? Okay, first tell me about the circle. What can you tell me about the circle? We'll be jumping too quickly. What can you tell me about the circle? In the question, what does it say?
There's 2 points on the circle and they gave us the equation of the center line.
So there's 2 points. So we could say maybe one is like here. We don't know where. It doesn't really matter actually. And the one is maybe like here. Okay, let's just say for argument's sake, yeah. Okay, and what did you say, Sabika?
They gave us the equation of the center line.
And the plus one is the y-intercept.
So just be careful. They gave you the equation of the center lies on the line.
Never mind.
The center itself is not a line, right? So the center lies on the line. Okay, y equals x plus 1. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a tough one. It's not as straightforward, but again, I'm going to show you how it's the exact same concept. But does anybody have any ideas of what we could do?
Can't you use the points that they give you and then insert it into the equation and then somehow find the length of the equation or something?
That's a good idea. So let's try that. So let us move. Okay, let's move it there. Can you guys still see it?
Yes.
Right. So what's the equation of a circle, Iman?
Oh yeah, I can't remember. Sorry, 1 second.
If I said you must memorize the formulas.
X minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared.
Great. And what is a and b?
The center coordinates.
Okay. And for those of you who haven't, have you guys all watched the concept videos on circle geometry, analytical?
Yes.
Okay. So I explained to you how it's derived, the equation. So there's not much you have to know for circle geometry analytical, but it's what you do know is very important. So it's not a lot, but it's important. Okay. Okay. So Iman, what do you think we could do now? We've got the equation, and what did you want to do?
Sub the points that we have in, and we can find those. Great.
That's a nice, good start. Okay, so you're saying we're subbing in, let's take 5, 7, so it's 7 minus a, you agree? Squared, right? Plus 5 minus b, right? Squared equals r squared. You agree?
Yeah.
And then you're saying, okay, well, then what's the next equation?
Wouldn't you do the same for the other point as well?
Yeah, so what's the new equation going to be?
-1 minus a squared plus -1 minus b squared is equal to 1.
Do you have the radius? You don't have the radius, right?
No.
Do you see a potential problem?
I mean, on.
We can make
We have too many.
simultaneous then.
But don't we have too many variables?
So who said simultaneous? Was that?
Yeah.
That's a good idea because you see these r squares are the same, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good suggestion. So let us make some more space for ourselves. Maybe move the circle, make the circle smaller. Okay. It's a good suggestion, but you'll see that there are potential issues that you would have to get around with that. What's the issue now? Do you see the issue now?
Can we not work the midpoint out and then get the center points and then substitute that into the first equation and then work out for R?
Say it again, Iman. Okay, wait, do you
No,
guys
those are-
agree? Do you guys agree with this equation?
Yeah.
Because both of these equal
No.
R squared. They
No.
equal R squared. So you can just make these equations equal. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
won't you get answer in terms of like A or B?
So that's what I'm saying. It's the problem because you've got one equation but two variables. Do you see? Do you see? But anyway, Iman, you mentioned something. Do you want to share your?
Oh no, that was
your...
Alia.
Oh, Alia, sorry, your voices are the same.
It's just a thought. I thought like we could probably use the 2 points that they give us and then work out the point, like using midpoint formula and then work out the center point.
So
And-
the problem is, how do you know that the line that you would draw between these 2 points goes through the center? Do you see that problem? Do you see the problem with that?
Yeah, they don't tell you it goes through the midpoint, right? So we can't use.
Those are just any points on the circle, right? So just because the points could be there, the points could be there.
Oh, they don't say in points. Okay, cool.
Okay, so do you see how you can't assume? But if it was, it's a good suggestion. If it was, any other ideas?
Is there no way to like find the length of the line? Y is equal to x plus 1.
Why would you want to work out the length?
Because if we find the length, then we can use the we can divide it by. Oh wait. Yeah, then we'd be able to divide it by 2, and then that would be your radius. And we can sub that into the equation, and then find the variables from there. Because then we'd have 3 pieces of information.
Yeah, because in the concept video, you said that the
But we can't assume that's the diameter.
No,
There's
but
a
see, it
much
says
easier way.
okay.
There's a much
Yes, what does that
easier way.
plus 1 have to do in that equation?
This says the center. Now, this is the key. The key lies here that I want you guys to think about. The center lies on the line y equals x plus 1. That is the key to this question. But now I want you to think about how we can use that.
Can't we make x equal to 0 and y equal to 0 and then work out the points?
Why would that help?
I don't know.
Can we not find the gradient and then check if it's collinear, like, you know what I mean?
But you have the gradient, it's 1.
Oh, no, I mean like, of that 2 points, right? So say you get the gradient of 1, then you know that 2 points lies on that line. You know what I'm trying to say?
But what?
Okay, that doesn't make sense.
I have an idea.
Okay, Iman is an
but
idea.
I'm not quite sure if it's correct. But wouldn't the distance between the center and the 1 point and the distance between the center and the other point be equal? So we'd be able to find. So wouldn't we be able to make an equation for those 2 things and then make those 2 equal and then find out the equation from there? I mean, find out the radius from there. If that makes sense.
You would still have 3 variables.
Oh yeah. Right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
How do you
It's a good
know?
thought.
How do you know that the distance from the center to that point is the same, like that?
Because this would be a radius.
Oh, so that is the radius.
Yeah, because it's from the center to the circumference.
Oh, okay.
You guys see that? But I'm making the argument to her that you will still have 3 variables. Because you would have the A and the B, the R, and the R and A and B. the solution, the trick lies here. Does anybody have an idea?
What is the I don't understand the significance of there being an equation for the line, I think.
Oh, okay, does everybody understand what this statement means? It means the center lies on the line. So here, so let's draw the line. Let's draw the line. Y equals x plus 1. Let's say it's like that. Do you guys see that? Going on forever and forever and forever.
Yeah.
What's the whole point of a function? What does a function do?
Doesn't it show you the relationship between points?
Relationship between two variables, not two.
Yeah, I mean variables, sorry, yes.
What are the two variables in this case? Which two variables?
Wouldn't it be the center and your circumference, or point on your circumference?
No. Well, okay. So it's the relationship between x and y. Can I give the answer, or does anybody want to try?
Give the answer, please.
Anybody want? You tapping out? Anybody watch wrestling? Nobody watch wrestling here. I'm too old for you guys. I used to watch wrestling when I was younger. Did none of you guys watch wrestling? WWE.
No, WWE. Everyone watched that.
Okay. Tapping out. Okay. So this line is, what's the equation of the line?
Y is equal to x plus 1.
So y equals x plus 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that at this center, if I make my, say that's x, then what's the y value?
X plus 1.
So now we
Y
have
minus 1.
X plus 1.
Okay.
Why is it x plus 1 and not y minus 1?
Because you're saying y
Because
equals
it's
x plus
1.
1. Y is equal
Oh,
to x
sorry.
plus 1.
Yes, I got it.
So if I choose x, then the corresponding y value, that's what a function is. A function just tells you the relationship between x and y. So if I choose an x value, then the y value is just going to be that x value plus 1. That's how you must read the function. Okay. We on the same page?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Right. So now we have, what did we say a and b are in this equation?
Center coordinates. So we can just substitute it.
You can now substitute x and x plus 1 in for a and b. A is just x. And therefore you have one variable in the equation. Am I skipping a step, or are you guys following?
I'm following.
I want everybody to understand what I've done. Do you want me to go back? I can go back. Does anybody want me to go back, or does everybody agree that this is x plus 1?
Yes.
Yep.
That's why they told you it's on the line. So whenever you see a question like this in the future, I want you to think of this: x plus 1. If I choose any x value, then the corresponding y value is x plus 1. So now you've got a relationship between a and b, the x and the y. So therefore, I can just sub in x for a. And for b, I can sub in x plus 1. What is a and b in the circle equation? What did we say?
The x and y coordinates of the center.
Right. So now all I'm doing is I'm subbing in the x and the y coordinates.
Oh, wow.
So now it looks a bit messy, but let's get it looking nice. Okay. So what's minus 1 minus x? Okay, that's just minus, okay, minus 1 minus x. Okay, let's leave it like that. Things are writing very nicely. Minus 1 minus x squared. What about minus 1 minus x minus 1? What does that give me? What does that give me?
Minus 2x minus 1.
Not minus 2x.
What?
Minus 2 minus x.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
minus 2 minus x squared equals 7 minus x squared, great, plus 5 minus x minus 1, which is
4 minus x.
okay. Do you see how we've got an equation now with just one variable? Do you guys see that?
Yes.
I feel like we'll get two answers, but anyway. So what's the next step? What's minus? How do we simplify this now?
You square all the binomials.
Okay, so what's minus 1? So who's going to do this for me? This is not grade 12 work, right? So the squaring of binomials is grade 9. Grade FOIL methods.
You'd have 1 plus 2x plus squared, and then you'd have 4 plus 4x plus x squared.
Does everybody agree? So it's going to be minus 1 times minus, which is 1, minus 1 times minus x times 2, which is 2x, right? And then, yeah, okay, next.
You'd have 4 plus 4x plus x squared. And then is equal to, well, can we just, okay. Yeah, and then 49 minus 14x plus x squared. And then 16 plus, minus 8x plus x squared.
16 minus 8x plus x squared. Okay, so the x squareds can cancel because this is going to be x squared can cancel. X squared. Do you see that?
Yes.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
I want to hear you. You. Okay. The x's, what do the x's add up onto the left side? Come, guys, quick. Left side, what does the x's add up to?
6x.
6x.
6x, right? And the constants add up to?
5.
5.
Right, equals. And on the right hand side, what do the x's add up to?
Minus 22.
Minus 22.
Minus 22x, right? Plus
65.
Now we're nearly there.
Bring the 22x over and solve for
Get
x.
28x
And take
and
5
60.
over all it.
28x equals
60.
X is equal to 15 over 7.
oh my goodness. What a coincidence. So what's 15 over 7? What's the decimal?
2.14.
Yeah.
285.
7 recurring. Yeah. Okay. So my question to you is, this is a lot of writing that we've done here, but do you see how it all just came about from you guys realizing that was just x plus 1? Do you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So now you've learned something. Do you see that? Now you've learned something. So in the future, because this is not the first time I've seen a question like this, we have seen line x plus 1. So now when you see this in the future, you can be like, okay, the center's on the line, so therefore I can write it as x plus 1. So do you see how now you've learned something so that you can use it in the future, right? Hello.
May I
Yes.
ask, what was the other method that you said that this was the easier method, but what was the other method that we could have used?
Oh no, I did I say that? I think this is the only method. Well, that I know, like I can think of. Well,
Would the thing that we were like saying at the beginning, I said that is there a way to find the length of
Oh, it would. I mean, you could, but I mean, it would. You would have to use the x plus 1. You see, remember, there's always a reason why they give you things, right? So I mean, so that's why I told you guys reading the question is so important. Like, this gives you all your information. Okay, so equation of a circle, I drew the circle, the points, I've put the points there. But so Iman was right at the beginning, you sub the points in, but then there was a problem because you had another variable. So when I saw the centers on the line y equals x plus 1, I immediately thought, okay, x plus 1. Because, you see, so do you see how your understanding of functions is so important? Do you see that?
Yeah.
You couldn't have answered this question if you didn't understand what is a function. What does a function actually mean? Because when I say y equals x plus 1, that means I can choose any x value, like 5, and then to find y, I must just take that x value and add 1. If I choose an x value like 50, then what must I do to find y?
add 1?
51. So the whole point of a function is to tell you the relationship between two variables. If I choose any value of x, then to get the y value, I must add 1. Do you see how easy it is? Let's take a hyperbola. Y equals 2 over x. If I choose x to be 1, then y is just going to be 2 times 1, 2 divided by 1. Does that make sense?
In this situation, how would you represent your y coordinate? Like how we said x and x plus 1, how would you use that for y? Would you say y is equal to over x?
So y is always just going to be x plus 1. This is the line.
No, I mean like yeah, for the y is equal to 2 over x, if that was the thing that we've been given instead of y is equal to x plus 1, would our y be 2 over x?
Yes, it'll be x and 2 over x. Because look, what are we saying here, Iman? Y equals that.
Okay.
That's why. That's why. So my x value and then my corresponding y value is just going to be whatever I chose x to be, say 2 divided by that.
Okay.
So that, but this is what functions means. Functions are just the relationship between two variables. So do you see? Does that help with this now? Do you see how understanding functions? So when I say y equals x plus 1, that means I can choose any x value, then the corresponding y value is just going to be 1 plus that. And then all I'm doing when I'm plotting a graph is that I'm just doing all those points and I'm just drawing that graph.
If
you want
what's the answer to this? You didn't answer the equation.
Oh yes, yeah, we didn't answer the question, sorry. But so now we've got the equation. So we've got the center of the circle, right? 15 over 7. Whoa, okay. What's the y value? What's the y value?
Plus 1.
Plus 1. So it's going to be 22 over 21. No, wait. 22. Wow, this
will be 22 over 7.
This is like foreshadowing here. It's foreshadowing. If you guys remember at the beginning, Iman said 22 over 7. Yeah, so that's the center of the circle. But what else do we need to find the equation of a circle?
The radius.
How can we find the radius?
Sub back into one of the formulas that we had.
Or you could,
Can't we
yeah, I
get
mean, you
the-
could, you've
Could
got
we
the
get the
center.
distance between them two?
Yeah, you could find distance formula. So there's multiple ways. So who wants to find the distance between these 2 points using distance formula? Somebody do it. Then I'll write the equation of the circle. X minus 15 over 7 squared plus y minus 22 over 7 all squared. What's the radius?
Can you go up to one of the points, please?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Amaro, does it make more sense now? Okay, all very soft. But I hear you say it does. Oh, the other questions, there's still lots of time, eh? In the meanwhile, any other questions? There's still lots of time. I've only done 2 questions. Oh, I can't hear you, Amaro.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. First do the radius. Then we do Amaro's question.
I got 4,8. I don't know if that's right, but 4,8.
Does anybody else get that? I trust Zay, but
I got
was it a fraction?
5,2.
Oh, okay. Okay, wait a second.
I got 4,8 because I put the minus instead of the plus, but then it's a plus, so it's 5,2, I think.
But was it a fraction or was it a? You remember it? Because remember
Yeah,
you want.
it was 5
don't-
square root 53 over 7.
So don't do decimal form because you have to square it in any case, right? Because you want r squared. So what's the r squared?
5 square root 53 over 7.
Squared.
No.
No, but have you squared it yet?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
That gives you 1325
1,000.
over 49.
1325
over 49.
This is like. I hope this is. Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Why are you
Because
confused?
at the back of the textbook, that's
Different
not
answer.
what it looks like at all.
Okay. What is the back
No,
of it?
but
Maybe.
Nafisa, the textbook's answers are wrong. Some of them.
But then
Okay, no,
it
no.
makes sense though.
Okay,
Like
no.
how it
So
looks.
what did they do at the back of the textbook?
They just give the answer. The equation is x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 25.
That seems like a nicer answer. Maybe
Equation,
there was a
yeah, that's why I'm
calculation area.
confused.
So let's look at our calculation because this doesn't look like a nice answer. I mean, it's possible, but you never know. So you guys did the foiling out, yeah? So let's just check, okay? So it's -1. So we're subbing in -1, 7 and 5. That's where. Because this is x. It should have been 5. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
I saw that, but I wasn't sure.
You guys must tell me. Okay. So that's going to be 5 minus x. But look, I mean, the numbers are changing, but the principle is the same, right? You guys agree the principle is the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The numbers are changing, but the principle is the same. So it's 7 minus x minus 1, which is 6 minus x. Okay, the left side is going to be exactly the same. We're going to get 25, right? I was losing memory here. Taking very long. 25. What's 5 minus x squared? So expand it out, guys. Okay.
25. 25.
Yes. Yes.
Negative 10x plus x squared.
Yes. And then the 6 minus x squared.
36 minus 12x plus x squared.
36 minus 12x. Great. Okay. 36 minus 12x plus x squared. Great. Now we go on. And then we get on the left-hand side, it's 6x plus 5. But then on this side, it's minus 10x minus 12, which is minus 22.
Yeah.
Still minus 22. And then 25 plus 36 is
61.
Okay. Yes, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then 28x equals
56.
yes. And then what does that mean for x?
X is equal to 2.
Right. There's a nice answer. And y is equal to? What did we say y is?
3.
Yeah, it's just x plus 1. And if x is 2, then y is?
3.
3. Right. That looks much, much better. Okay. So now who wants to do distance formula again? So it's gonna be 2 and 3. And you can take -1 and -1. Just do distance formula for that, please. Will I erase this? You should get 25, 5.
5.
You get 25?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Immensely.
Amaro, you had a question? Amaro?
Now every week the live sessions are going to be on Saturday.
Julius, can you go to the answer quickly?
You asked something on Saturday. Do you prefer if it's on Saturday?
No.
No. No.
I
think
think
Thursdays was
more
the best.
people showed up today than on Friday. Like
Yeah.
the other time we had on
I
Friday.
mean, the only reason I moved it today because I had an assignment due yesterday, so I was wanting to finish that. So that's why I moved it to today. But I was going to move it back to Friday. Would you prefer Friday?
No.
I'm okay with
No.
anything.
Whatever suits you best.
Well, the thing is, I asked which day people prefer, and they said Friday. And then last week, only 3 people came.
Yeah,
So,
it was like 4.
yeah, so
If Friday is like a relaxed day,
Like
basically.
you're always here anyways.
Yeah.
Friday is relaxed days. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really.
But can't you make Saturday a relaxed day if you have the live session on the Saturday?
I mean, we could, yes.
Okay. Iman, you sent another question?
Yes, but I really just didn't even know how to like start the question, so I was
We have
waiting.
answered this before. We have answered this before.
Okay, then I'll
Actually.
look through the thing.
Let me just see if I can find it. I'll even send you the link just to be sure if it is there. It's under practice questions, grade 12, sequences, sigma notation. No. No. Yes. Is that the one?
Okay.
Is that it?
I think so, yeah.
The same question?
Yeah, it's the exact same one. Thank you for good at that.
Same book, definitely the same. So I will just, so I can do this and then say menu new. And then that will take you straight to the video. So if you click on there, it should take you straight to the video. Okay. Any other questions?
I got one,
This
but
time.
the answers are at the bottom, but I'm not sure which one is the answer.
What do you mean?
It's I'll send it to you and you can see.
Which section is it?
Solving for X.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. This is like an algebra question.
Yeah.
I was thinking LCT for this, but then I don't know, it just never worked out for me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you can.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yeah, so my screen froze. But I found another way to actually continue without having to do that. So if I start sharing my screen here, right? Let me just choose something that's not problematic. Okay. If I start sharing that, can you start seeing this? Do you see this now?
Yeah.
Grade
Yeah.
8 mind map. Right. Now let me see if this works now. Okay, so let me see if I join again. But then I don't want to stop the meeting, you know? Because I think I found a way to, because remember we had to stop the meeting?
Yeah.
Guys, yeah, so let's see if that's better now. Sorry. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So we solved that. Okay, can you see it now? Can you see me moving it now?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so now I don't have to stop the meetings anymore. Okay. This seems like there seems to be a lag here. Okay, so what do you got? Anybody have an idea of how we can solve this? Anyone? Anyone?
I thought LCT at first.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. So what did you try and do?
Realized. Okay. Nothing.
Can we start by simplifying the actual equations to get rid of the denominator?
Yeah, so how would you do that, Iman?
Oh, never mind. Because I answered LCD didn't work.
Okay. Oh well, no. Well, no. Wait. You suggested this. Let's try.
Should be u over
1 over u minus 1 over v. How can we write that as one fraction?
UV, I mean 1 over UV. Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, it'd be
guys,
v minus u over
No.
v minus u over v. uv, v minus u over uv. Why is that? Because if you divide out, then it becomes 1 over u, and you divide out by there, it becomes, u's cancel 1 over v. So this is very important, guys. Now, this is grade 8. Now, it's very important, and I don't like to send you guys back to lower grades to go back, but it's very important. Your algebra is very important. And remember, I told you guys that algebra is not in grade 12. There's no algebra in grade 12, right? I told you guys that.
Yes.
So, but that doesn't mean that you can just forget the algebra in previous grades. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, so now, what do you think you can do now, Zaire? Ayan, what did you try after this?
Make x the subject of the formula.
Okay, but now that's the question. So what did you do? How did you do it?
Would you cross multiply?
What do you mean by cross multiply? You must tell me. Like, you mustn't ask questions. You must tell me, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Because in the exam, you can't be like, Elias, can I do this or can I do that? I can't answer you because I'm not in the exam. So you have to be confident in yourself that you understand the maths. Because the thing is, in maths, you can do anything as long as you're correct. as long as you're applying algebraic rules, you can never be wrong. So what would you try now?
I don't know.
Anybody want to try and help him?
I got it. I figured it out.
Oh, okay. So what did you do, man?
Basically you take that and you cross multiply it so that you get x into v minus u is equal to vu minus vus.
Over u. Oh wait. So are you multiplying the uv as well?
No, I'm cross multiplying. So I'll have x into v minus u, and then on the other side I'll have uv into 1 minus s, or is it 5? 1 minus s.
Yeah, okay, uv minus uv minus uvs. Okay, great.
Yeah. And then basically you just take that, then you divide both sides by v minus u. And then you take out the uv on top, and then you have uv into 1 minus s. And that will give you the second option, v.
Does it?
No. Oh. Ah. Oh no, wait. You can just take the minus sign up, because, and then you swap the, you say, and you have a u minus v at the bottom, and then, yeah, and then s, and then you can say s minus 1 on top.
You are right, but just say it slowly so that
Okay.
step by
So
step.
basically, you need to change the denominator as well. So from v minus u into u minus v. So you take out the minus sign, and then you'll have to change it into u minus v, negative into u minus v, and then on top, then you want to get.
Do you guys just stop you there? Do you guys remember when I showed you this? You can swap any. You can swap any two numbers if you take out the negative. Do you guys remember me showing you this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what Iman's doing. She's swapping the numbers, because you see, sorry, I'm writing here. Sorry. I've written here u minus v. It's supposed to be v minus u. Okay. And then Iman is just saying, if you take out the negative, then it becomes u minus v. Do you guys understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a nice thing. Okay. And then Iman, what else did you do?
Then at the top, then you take out the negative from the bracket, so you'll get negative uv into 5 minus 1.
S
S
minus
minus
1.
1.
Yeah.
And then the negatives would cancel and you'd be left with a positive, and that would be the second answer, B.
Ayan, do you see that?
Yes.
So they did try and trick you a bit. They did try and trick you a bit, but any new maths?
No.
No. So with the NBTs, there will never be new maths. But what they will do is they will test how well do you understand the concepts.
Yes.
Yeah. We still have time. There's 20 minutes. Any other questions? Or do you want to talk about university? You guys
I have a question, but I'm not sure if you will know the answer. But someone just saying something to Optimistic group. It said that the schools might close if they're discussing it. They're going to cabinet discussing how. Do you perhaps know anything about that?
I know the subject advisor for maths. I could ask her, but I don't know myself. You see, the thing is, like, it's a difficult situation. And obviously, we are doing maths now, and but a lot of people just haven't had access because we've had you guys obviously have data to come on and do these live sessions and stuff, and it's a big mess. It's like a lot of people. What about the people that don't have access to data? I mean, there are people in the Eastern Cape who don't have phones. So even if you get data, I mean,
but like I think it was Naima. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong, but she said that at her school, because a lot of people don't have access to internet and they're going in 2 days a week. Anyways, they are on their own, so it's like,
yeah. So it's a challenging situation, but I wonder if it's because of this. Like, what did the message say?
Sorry.
What did the message say that the person asked?
No. They sent a news article and then I went to go check.
Oh, it's a news article. Okay, is it from News 24?
Yeah.
I think it's probably because there's been a lot of cases in a lot of schools. Like my school alone closed like 3 times already, and like and it's very expensive for the government to send people to keep sanitizing the whole school. So that's why. But I don't think they will close.
No, but it's so it's such an irritating thing for me, because it's like, it's like, yeah, okay, fine, they're gonna lose a year of school, but at the cost of their life. Like, it's not gonna matter if they did. Like, that's like a real problem that you have to take into consideration, because like the thing is, sorry, my being like very heated. It's a very
I mean, this is not the first time it's happened. I mean, my uncle was telling me that in 1984, he had to skip a year of school because of the riots. So it's happened before. I mean, obviously, this comes to like, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize your life over your education? I mean, that's also an interesting thing. I mean, are you prioritizing, like, so it's very, it's called, you can say it's like, it's a conflict of rights. Like, you have a right to education, but you also have a right to life. And when those, yeah.
Sorry. The thing is, though, if you like, even by skipping the school year, your right to education isn't necessarily taken away, because like, it's not
that's
saying
true.
you can't learn. It's just saying that you're going to learn next year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But are you going to learn next year?
Oh, whenever we go back.
So whenever we get
it's not like this.
Yeah.
There's no, like, for me personally, I can't think of any concrete proper reason as to why we should be going to school. Like besides,
when are you going? When are you supposed to go back to school? In August.
13th of August, yeah, 18th.
Yeah, because Naima, your school obviously has been closing because of cases and things like that, and I see the same thing happening with Islamia. Right? You guys would agree. There's bound to be a student who's been in contact,
Yeah.
and is bound to be maybe a teacher.
And some kids are very selfish, like this girl who got tested for corona. So she went for a test and she didn't get her results back, but yet she came to school because we were writing a test, and then we found out that she was positive.
Oh, okay. So and she had symptoms?
Like yes, she did, and she still came to school. So there are always people who, don't think about
Oh,
other people and stuff.
yeah, that's not right. If you have symptoms, you should isolate.
And like also like we went back for like a week for our tests. We were literally there for only a week. There were only 2 grades there. It was like very, very few people as well because our school is kind of small compared to public schools. We were there for like literally a week. No one was walking around anything, and like having 2 teachers tested positive for the virus now. It's like
Okay.
And it's like all teachers as well, so it's like really horrible.
Mishka, what do you think? I saw you just joined now. You from which school again, Mishka? You from Durban?
No, I'm from Pretoria.
Pretoria. Okay. Which and what's happening with your school?
We closed twice already, and now we open again. So I don't know.
But what do you think?
I don't know. Like even like as this Naima was saying, that like people are very selfish. Even in my class, like 2 of them, they went for a test and then they were positive, but then they still came to school. And then only when they got their results back, they said they're positive, so we had to close.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So there's like nine students in our class. Their families got it. So now, but we still open. They're just being absent.
Yeah.
Because like here in our area, Lodium is like the worst. Like it was even on ENCA and stuff. So yeah, we're getting like 300 cases every day increasing. Like here in our area.
Yeah. Sabiha, what do you say? Sabiha or Nafisa, what do you think?
I wasn't here for the whole conversation. Sorry, I had to leave. What do I think about what? Like repeating the question.
You must ask to leave class. Teacher, can I leave the class? Can I go to the? Okay, no, you can't do it. Okay. We were talking about what do you guys? Because there aren't any more questions, I believe. So I was, Iman was talking about the closing of schools, and what do you think about the whole situation?
Honestly, at this point, I just want to finish matric. But then, what's scaring me is that the paper's already set. So they're not going to change it. And like, I don't know how I'm going to write with sitting at home, teaching myself every single subject because I don't learn properly when I have online classes. So I struggle a lot with that. So I basically must teach all the subjects to myself. And I don't know how I'm going to write.
Do you think that like the Teams system doesn't work nicely for you?
Well, you see, for some subjects I can pay attention, right? But then for maths and accounting, I can't learn online. It's just like not working for me. Whereas in like my other subjects, my business and economics, those like I don't need like a teacher because it's just theory I must memorize. But for accounting and math, I need to understand what the teacher is doing. So that's where I struggle a lot, especially accounting. I can't. It's just like no.
Yeah. Like what Nafisa was saying, like it's different for some subjects. Like for example with physics, like the teacher is still the same, but like for example, we can't really hear what he says, and we can't like the class environment is different, and you just can't like pay attention or engage as well as you would in a normal class environment. And that like affects it a lot.
Do you think the problem is online learning, or do you think it's the mode of teaching on online?
I think it's
like,
the
like
environment.
Yeah.
I think
it's like
it's more like
so let's say
I feel also it's like when I get classes, it's like it's not really interactive. Like here, that's why I like this tuition, because like we talk a lot, but then in classes it's really not interactive at all. Whereas in class, it's like you talk, and then if you don't understand something, you say immediately like I don't get it. But then here you must, like, the teacher must ask you, do you get it? Then you must unmute yourself and you must speak, and like it's just a whole mess.
Yeah, like honestly, what class feels like these days is like if you watch like a very boring YouTube video, and like you just kind of want to skip to like to the point, but like you can't, so you just end up, your attention ends up drifting, and like that's honestly what class feels like these days.
And also, like like you share your screens, it's actually so much easier. While in my math class, like my teacher literally just reads from the textbook, and yeah, that's I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, but
so like what I'm trying to get at is, are you concerned with the concept of online teaching, or the way that online teaching has been conveyed to you? So like, for example, let's take something like the concept videos. Do you think that is something that if we did it for other subjects could help, or are you saying that online learning in general is a challenge?
I think
online
it's
learning
more
in general is a challenge.
No, I think it's more like there's like two sides to see it from, because like a big part of like our online learning for us is like not being bored by it. So like it's like we have to put our foot forward, we have to put in the effort, we have to, and all of that kind of stuff. But like I think like with like the like the live sessions, right? Like we like obviously like I feel like I learn a lot from it, but like because it's like interactive and it's engaging or whatever, but the way that our classes are taught are not necessarily so. There's not really a problem with online learning itself, more like, as you said, the way it's been conveyed to us in some ways.
And I guess also, you see, the thing is, like, for your teachers, like, if you put ourselves in their shoes, like many of them, like for me, I took a very long time to become comfortable making online resources. I mean, and I'm still young and I'm quite comfortable with technology. So I think for many of your teachers,
that's what the teachers were also saying, because they are old and they're not used to technology. So
yeah. So I mean, we must also try and be a bit empathic towards them, but at the same time, you know, try and see it from both sides. Like, you know, they obviously learning as it goes along, but they must also understand that for you guys, it's a challenge. It's a change of environment, and they can't expect you to just change and work as you were before. So like maybe they shouldn't give you as many assignments.
I think our teachers have been very empathetic to us, like definitely. The group of people who aren't is the Department of Basic Education. Oh, I hate Angie Matseka. Oh, I don't like her. No, like literally, I feel like she like governs the Department of Basic Education without actually thinking from our point of view, like genuinely. Like she wants us to go to school, but she's not going to Parliament. Like, oi.
Is this getting recorded?
Man, you're in trouble.
Angie Matseka forever. I love you. Department of Basic Education life.
Only one person watching YouTube.
But I also think that the online, it works for the languages. I think for the languages it works, but for the more okay, but for the more intricate subjects like physics and maths, you need to be not one-on-one, but you need to be in person with a teacher to actually properly learn the stuff. But this works. This platform you have works is because you you have a board we can actually see and it actually writes. Whereas the teachers, they're not so technically advanced.
Yeah. Gosh,
Yeah.
we can't even see the board like it's really in physics.
See,
They
you
write
must
on the
still
board.
Yeah, the most of our teachers bought a whiteboard to write on. And like
And for our
physics
physics teacher,
class.
okay, go first.
Numbers
Oh,
240p.
and I feel so
His
bad because like
connection is
every
not good.
No.
and like every I feel so bad for Mr. Marcus because every time like every like 10 seconds you must say, Mr. Marcus, can you move the board please? But he doesn't hear you, so you must like shout while he's talking. And I feel so bad because it feels like you're interrupting your teacher, which feels so disrespectful.
All your teachers Muslims.
Yeah. No, besides
Yeah.
the students, you have to voice out.
Miss Perenzi.
Crazy.
And do you have non-Muslim students at your school?
No. No.
Ayan Rumani.
But are they allowed to? Did they accept non-Muslim students?
There was a I think it was a Christian girl. But like before we were at that school, it's like but she had to like basically do everything that we do except for go to mosque obviously. But they are allowed like it is an
Like
open school.
hijab and everything.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Okay.
It's part of school uniform.
Okay. Well, I mean, can't understand why it shouldn't be, but yeah. I mean, well, I went to a Christian school, so I do know quite a lot about Christianity from that. I guess it's nice to be in with people from a different religion.
yeah.
Do you have non-Muslim friends like outside of Islam?
Yeah. But like as I feel like
I have non-Muslim friends.
You are.
like everyone.
Let me turn off the YouTube actually.
Yes, please.
But are there no more maths questions? Right?
I think we're
Yes,
done.
they are.